welcome back. I hope everyone had a week that was fruitful and that had some moments of joy in them. We're going to do our reading, and I've got certain areas that we're going to pull some cards. We're going to pull a Crow Oracle card and a Tarot card in each area that I heard before I jumped on here from our guides from the collective that I think that we all need to hear from. So we're going to delve into those and see what the messages that come forward are, okay? So our first area is wealth, money, and abundance. Something we've probably all been thinking about. Okay, let's do it. I hear in this area, some people need to work a little bit harder with like their visioning, seeing things more clearly, like having a better plan in place. Okay, so for some folks, I hear that before we even start reading the cards. So interesting. So with the crows, we have first choices, which is kind of what I was telling you. When they say be more focused on the plan, some people are all over the place, right? And you got a lot of different opportunities, and there's a lot of different ways that you could go, right? Especially if you're thinking, and so this is going to come from different areas. So when they told me that this particular category we're going to look at, which is wealth and money and abundance, it's not necessarily tied to like a job or career, because money and abundance could be coming from several different places and sources. So consider the ways in which you are not in alignment with having abundance come your way, okay? And you may need to make choices, right? Which is our first card, making choices that will put you in alignment with receiving. Does that make sense? Hopefully we're going to get more clarity as we read the other cards in this category. So interesting. So the next one is the Ka-Ching card with the crows. There is abundance and it's fruitful and it's there, but we gotta get it. We gotta just go for it. And I think it will, a lot of things are gonna be opening up for us during this cycle, with the alignment of the moon and other things that are going on. And I think we will have more opportunity to find the hidden treasure that we've been looking for, right? Especially if it feels like it's truly buried, like we haven't been able to easily access it. I think it's going to more easily materialize for us, right? Okay. And then our first tarot card on this one is the Page of Wands. And you have really, is for most people who are in the collective listening, you've done a lot of work already. And having a little bit of refinement will help you manifest things better with the money, okay? And so there is some, like exuberance here. There's some joyful exuberance towards working towards this goal. And now is a good time to just kind of sit back, and here's the Nine of Pentacles, and you planted the seed, you've done the work, let it come to you, right? And if you've felt really trapped or stuck, or like there's a lot of stuck energy in this category and you are not sure, this card lets us know that if we have really done the work, right, we've been making good choices, we've been doing all these things, then we can sit back for a moment, right? We don't always have to be striving, and allow the seeds to sprout. Okay, does that make sense? Like this young witch here, she knows that the seeds are going to sprout because she's been pruning things, she's been planting things, she's been on top of her stuff, right? And that can be where you are too. That's why I think in the beginning they say make sure you've got a plan mapped out, you've got a vision, you've done some work on this. So, and I'm noticing this bird, right? So I'm not sure. It is a white bird here. It almost looks like, I could be wrong, it looks like it could be a white eagle. We'll see. I have been seeing a lot of birds of prey. Have you been seeing a lot of birds of prey flying by, driving by where you are? I've noticed them all over the place. They're definitely sending us signals, these birds. The last card in this particular area is the Empress. The earth provides for all of us. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way because people try to hold on, right? Like people get a little bit of wealth and then they're like, I'm going to take it all for me. But the source is not other people or governments or anything like that. The source is always earth. And earth is fertile and abundant. Sometimes we get lost from where things are coming from. And this, I think we got pulled this card last to affirm to us that we recognize where things are coming from. Things are coming from the source, which is earth, right? Mother Earth. And it's a replenishment, right? And a cycle. So as we take, it is inherent for us to give back and be generous also. And then if we're not in that energetic cycle, it will not filter back to us. We'll see that over and over again, right? So think about generosity as well. And it doesn't have to be, if you don't have a lot of extra, it can be generosity of your time or your expertise, or it could be different things, right? But generosity. Okay. Now we're going to move into our next area, which is health and longevity. Physical health and longevity. Okay, let's see what we get. The first one we are getting is memory. And this is in health and longevity. Are we becoming forgetful? in our as we age? I think that this is telling us that we need to remember the things that brought us joy, that made us feel the most healthy, energized, energetic. Remember, when we're talking about physical health, we're thinking about if we're getting good sleep, if we're getting good rest, if we're ever rested or feeling, or do we feel just exhausted, like we're just trying to fight through the week. And remember that it's sometimes hard to feel rested if we're going with modern society, right? Because if we're here, we don't actually, have that many waking hours where we're not either working, commuting to work, cleaning, taking care of our kids, our dogs, our elderly parents, etc., etc., etc. But when all that's all said and done, we probably have a couple hours left, and that's it. So it's not that easy to, do things like, have a routine that will make our muscles, be flexible is what I hear. Be flexible. I see people being flexible and stretching. And just as these people are doing here, just simply getting out for a walk, right? So think about if you're taking care of your physical well-being, okay? Next one. Have fun. It's the mischief card. Is that a cat that they're attacking? It's a scared looking cat with the crows. This is the crow oracle. That's terrible. They're being mean to this poor cat. But they're trying to tell you, have fun, have laughter, have joy. That does impact your physical body. Has it been harder to laugh of late? I think so. Has it been harder to find bits of joy? I think so. And that can all aid in why we're feeling tired, why we're feeling like, right? But finding little ways where we can have some fun that doesn't hurt anybody, that's harmless, is something to definitely think about if we can I just spilled a bunch of cards on the floor. If we could dive into, now we're gonna use these 2 cards because they're meant to be, and I hear one more. Okay, and we get the 6 of Pentacles here, and what do they mean here with this area, which is health and longevity? They tell me you don't know what you have until it's gone, okay? And they also, our guides also advise us that, we spend a lot of time worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow. And they're again giving us a message about giving and receiving. And like what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is ancestors, like your elderly ancestors, being given, kindness, help as they're moving a little bit slower, perhaps by the younger generation, the younger, children in the family or in the neighborhood, and that then that's the cycle, right? That there's like an energetic cycle even in our health and longevity that will help us. And then, of course, we have the 3 of Cups here, working together, celebrating together, inviting people in, having gatherings, having laughter, having times together. That all those things are going to help with our longevity. And if we have been too tired to thinking about doing anything, think about simple ways in which you can reconnect with your here I would say with your sisters or your your soul sisters here, your friends. Could be something small, right? It doesn't have to be anything earth-shattering. I have one friend where our activity hanging out is doing errands together. We go to Aldi together. And it could be, that's the time we have. It could be something different for you, but it doesn't have to be like something, where you have to spend a lot of time. Okay? Next one is the 9 of Swords. And so these are difficult times. It's really, really hard. Our physical health is, of course, impacted by our mental health and how we feel in our minds. Are we just regretful? Are we just thinking about, are we bitter? Are we angry? And is that something that we're ruminating upon day in and day out? Because that definitely will impact our longevity and our body and our spirit. It just will it will bring us down very quickly. And so there's the choice that we have to make. Do we want to sit in that, right? Do we want to sit in that emotion? Like, how long are we going to sit in this emotion? Is it going to be for forever, for a long period of time? Because that definitely will start affecting the physical body. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope that makes sense. Now, next area they tell me is mental awareness. I can't read my own handwriting. It's so sad. I have terrible handwriting. I'm going to go with mental awareness. I did write something else, but I don't know what else that says. So we're going to go with mental awareness, mental health. Let's see what our guides are telling us on that one. Some of us feel that we are trapped, and that's impacting our mental health. We feel stuck, right? Maybe not having enough resources. Here's the trap card. Maybe not having enough partner, like help with a partner, many different things, or feeling stuck in our chosen careers. Maybe we picked a career that's kind of like a dead career, like mine in library science. That can make us feel stuck. And there is awful lot of stuck energy out there. I'm sure some of you who are empathic and energy sensitive have really felt that. And feeling like you are on the outside of like the world is going on around you, but you're just kind of standing still and you're over here. And in not realizing how to make it out there, right? So that definitely is an impact for the mental health. And what it is that you are looking for is acceptance, feeling like you're accepted by your people, your crew, your friends, your family, your peers, your coworkers, people you're connected with. That's what it's all about. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for your peeps. You're looking for your people who make you feel like, oh, I'm connected to something. There's a family. It makes sense, or something like that. And a lack of that, and I think some of you have had a lack of that, have definitely hurt your mental awareness and have impacted you. And so let's pull some tarot cards to see what guidance they give us for the future on that, especially if that's how you've been feeling, if you've been feeling like you're in that stuck energy, and you're not sure how to get, free up anything from that. Interesting. Okay, first card we got was the Ace of Swords. You have thought a lot about this. I think if you are someone who is deep and in your head, and you've really replayed certain situations and some scenarios in your head over and over and over again, and you've really had a lot of good ideas. You've had a lot of ways that you've thought about, like is that a word? Unstucking yourself? That's not right. And freeing yourself from, I hear like prison, like you feel like you're in a jail or a prison. Like it's rough. And you, but you have great ideas, and you have great ideas, and you're like, I'm smart, I've got stuff. And now you are coming forward right to the point where the road is going to change and shift. Right, here are the two horses in the chariot. Remember, this is the year of the horse, meaning the energy is moving forward, pushing us forward quickly, faster, and you're on the way. You're on the way. And, maybe you had all those ideas and you're like, oh, well, okay, I tried this. I'm going to try this. Maybe it's not working out. Maybe you put out a bunch of resumes. Those didn't connect. Don't give up, because this energy is going to be pushing you forward. Some other door is going to be opening for you and coming your way. And not in just one way. I feel like it's going to be coming from several different ways, some ways unexpected as well. Okay. So open the door to that pleasant surprise. Now, a final card with this mental awareness is the King of Pentacles. You'll see the King of Pentacles sitting with, it's probably a wolf, but I'm going to say it's a dog, with a husky dog, right? Or a wolf dog, sitting here calmly, peacefully, knowing that it's the abundance that is being sought is like you are the one who has domain over that. You're in control over your mind, your mental health, meaning you come to a point in a realization where you realize, yes, I want acceptance. I want to find my people, right? Not like these, I feel like some people listening have had some people who've done them dirty in the past. I don't mean like these sketch people over here. Who cares about this? Don't waste time. I'm not talking about acceptance from people like that or like bullies. No, forget you people. No. I mean, finding your group of people who are going to make you feel empowered and uplifted. And there are people there. Yes, there are mean, sucky people out there. But I on the one hand, there's that going on over here. But you've probably met so many other amazing, incredible people. And if you haven't, consider chatting with people. Now, I talk to everybody, so I know it's very easy for me to chat with people, but I just meet so many amazing, kind people all the time. I can't tell you how many wonderful people I meet all the time. Does that mean I don't meet people that I want to throat punch at can I say that? I sure can. At ShopRite on a Saturday? Yes. But then why do I go on Saturday? So who's the person who's at fault? Me. So mental health. Think about all these things with your mental awareness. But the doors are opening. things are opening. Fated things are going to be coming your way. Is going to loosen up some of that trapped, stuck energy. That's what your guides are trying to tell you, okay? And in ways that are good, you're going to feel it. It's not like, oh, I'm not sure. No, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel like, oh, I feel a little bit lighter today. I'm feeling a little bit better. Okay. This is when I come into the end of the night, I get more and more snarky. That's like the real Laura coming out. So this is snarky Laura here. Okay. We're on to the life path. That is our next one that my guides told me we needed to talk about for today. So we have preparation. Is our first card that we got. Preparation in the life path position. So, do you have all of your ducks in a row? And if you don't, what do you need to do? How can you plan? It can't just be a wish, right? I hear that like some people already are working with their guides, or they have like a prayer practice. They're doing things, and those are good things. I'm not saying don't do those, right? These are important first steps. But then there needs to be some kind of preparation, some kind of thing that you're doing as well. So it's not enough to be like, okay, I've done spells, I've done rituals, I've done requests, I've done pleas, and now I'm going to just sit back. Nope. No, your guides tell you, no, you need to do something. You need to be the protagonist in this story. You need to take action, and that's what's going to move you forward, right? So they're going to help you. They're going to uplift you. They're going to give you a lot of insights, clarity. Things will move quicker and faster if you're working with your guides on this life purpose. That doesn't mean it's not going to be hard work. There will be times when you're going to feel like, this is so much growth. Why did I sign up for it in this lifetime? Did I sign up? Can I get the easier lifetime next time? But for now, there is a purpose. Are you prepared for that purpose? That's what they want you to know. Now, this next card is betrayal. You have felt like someone really burned you. That's the truth. I think for some people, they had a life path, they had a family, maybe a marriage, maybe even, it could be even a career, right? If you're like in a career like I am, and you feel like it did you dirty. You feel like it was a betrayal at a cellular level, and you haven't let it go. No, it's very deep. Now we're gonna pull some tarot to see how do we move on from that. But that's something that is impacting the life path for you. And again, you know what that is, right? You know what that is. I think it's something different from all of us. For some people, I think it's relationship. Somebody who did them wrong in relationship, past partner, past husband, mate, whatever. That's for some of us for sure. For other people, it's something different. Like I could tell you, for me, it's like career, I think, right? And it could be different things for different people. But think about the betrayal. Okay, have that in your mind here when we talk about that in the life path. Okay. Okay. First one is the Hangman. Wow. Okay. I know that you are feeling like you are stuck, like you can't move on from this. Like it's really impacted many layers of your life. It's made it more difficult for you. Now, one, that's not true. It's not. I know it feels that way right now, but they're telling us it's not true, that they're going to help you and you've got the keys to move forward. But here's the Queen of Swords. You really need to come into your own. You really need to decide, am I going to let this betrayal hang all over me? Am I going to just sit here ruing about it and ask that my life purpose is diminished? What I could have done, joy I could have had, times I could have had are diminished by this betrayal? Or am I going to here's the Ten of Swords, or am I going to just come to a place of acceptance, knowing that there's something else out there for me, and that there's more than one way to get to where I need to go, right? Does that make sense? I hear what the God's also telling me to tell you. You need to do some work letting go. You need to do some work letting something go. Whatever works for you. If you do a cord cutting, okay? If you don't know what that is, look that up. There's a ton of guided meditations that'll help you do cord cutting. Cord cutting is good if you're really connected to a past person, you have an ex, or maybe it could be an ex-workplace that had like a lot of toxic, heavy energy and you need to clear that out. So it could be something like that. Or again, if you have like an ex that you're dealing with and like you have to constantly deal with them and they're not making your life easy. Could be one of those things. But this is the point where your life path is being impacted by this. And you of course, you always have free will. So you're the one who has to decide, am I going to, use my own capability and move away from something, or if I'm going to continue with this, okay? So that's tough. So that is in our life path position. Our next position is family relationships. Now, I wrote down family relationships, but the next one is partnerships, which I took as like more romantic. So I think this one is just like our family relationships. We'll see. 2 cards popped out already, so we're going to go with those and see what they tell us. Some of us here are really, this is the bond card. We're really bonded to our family. And a lot of the decisions we've made are because of our family and having them in our life. And that really is something that is has made us better, has helped us through growth. For some people, it's been painful. It's been hurtful. You can see here's like the heart, right, with that bond. And some people feel a little bit heartbroken and a little bit like what I hear is for some people there's some grief because the family is not together anymore, or like there's a lot of significant change, and it's just it's been a difficult road. So it's more than one thing for some people. The bittersweet is what I hear in my head, that it's bittersweet for some people. And the next one we get is direction, right? Direction in this family relationships. We're going to pull tarot to see what more they're telling us with this one. Well, with this one, they want us to let us know that the relationships are changing and they're evolving. And yes, some of us will be moving in different directions. Some of us will have physical movement, but some of us will just be, just out of different circles, like out of the loop with certain different things. For some of us, it's like siblings, like not connecting with our siblings maybe in a way that we may have in the past. And again, I think it's because some people are just going in different directions, like lifestyles are changing. And first one here is the Page of Swords. There's a Page of Swords. Some people are doing a deep dive now on and getting great insight on like their family. And like some people I hear it's like physical, like you're doing like something like genealogy maybe, or like what's that? What's the DNA ancestry stuff? The DNA thing. I don't remember what that's called. The ancestry DNA thing. So some people are doing like physical stuff, like wanting to know more about their family. And other people know a lot about their family and they're trying to know more about them, like metaphysical, right? Like some people I think are trying to like consult with a medium, right? Or try to like understand people who've passed over and, why they made certain choices. And I think that you will have dialogues. I know with some of my family members, I've been having deep dialogues about like stuff that we've gone through in our family, and like why did things happen? And it's helping us, connect the dots in our life, helping our relationships become better. So this is like a studying, learning, questioning time. Okay, that's the time period we are in now. And this is, like I said, we got this Magician card here because for some people, the way that we're going to get our answers, especially if you're like someone like me, you're going to get that from the other side, especially if you are attuned to things, right? Maybe you yourself are a psychic, or you do mediumship like I do, and you can connect with other people. Or maybe you connect with your ancestors through dreams. I know some of you do, right? You see maybe like your crossed over grandmother, your mother, through the dream cycle, or through animals. Like you get messages that way. And I see you doing that, like trying to manifest like a connection so you can learn more, so you can understand more. And it's going to, all this work that they're talking about, this is the sun here. It's really going to make you feel uplifted, or it's going to like ease some tension that you had within you. So all of these things that you're doing to help family relationships are all going to be for the better. It's all going to be something that is going to be in the long run very helpful. Okay, so that's good. Now our next category is in like partnerships, romantic partnerships. Okay. Some people, I hear it in my head before I look at the card, need to close the chapter on certain romantic relationships because they are not doing you justice at all. First card we got is the Dreams card here. I hear from our guides, some people need to move on, right? And other people need to invite in, okay? So some people haven't been ready for the kind of partnership that they've needed. And I think it's more about nurturement. And like, just like we see the key here, it's you're going to find that person who really, it's like they've got the key, like they know how to unlock something in you. And and that's what you're really looking for, like a soul partnership, right? And now for some people that you may already have that, and I think that's wonderful. For other people, that's what they're trying to move towards, right? And and then like for other people, our next card is we've got a routine. And like some people are quite happy with their routine. Again, I think that's wonderful. And like for some people, they've fallen into a good routine in their partnership, and that is something that is sustaining for them. Okay, so of course there's that is not the case for everybody. So let's see. We're gonna put some tarot on this. And I'm pulling first because this is what I hear what the guide's telling me to do. I'm pulling for the single folk first. Okay, so this little portion is for the single, the unpartnered folks. And the first one is the High Priestess. I think if you are unpartnered, you are a magical person, right? You are a witch, you are intuitive, and you've got all of this within you. And not anyone will do for you. Because you got, again, you've got magic in you. And so you're like, I got a life purpose. I know things, I divine information. And, just a regular Joe might not be the person for you, or Jane, whatever. So you are in the process of working on gaining partnership, but your way. Right, through your manifestation, through like visions, all the kinds of things that are important to you. And like you understand that this is a part, like it's a part of like the it's like a part of the work, right? Like, how some people, when they're like, okay, I want to find a mate, so I'm going to like write a profile and I'm going to like online date people. Some people do that. And then other like spiritual witchcraft like people like myself, don't do that, and are like, okay, I'm gonna set my intentions, I'm gonna do some spells, I'm gonna, work on nourishment, this kind of thing, right? I feel for you that that's what you're doing all the magical stuff, because you know that that's the thing that's gonna help bring forward the true partnership that you need to help you with that life purpose that we saw. And we've got the Four of Wands here. And what's what I hear? Not everybody is happy for you. And people are very quick to offer their opinion to you. And not everybody's celebrating with you. You know what? You don't have to analyze what that's about. Okay? Some people got their own stuff, and they don't have the capacity to have space for you. They just don't. So is some of it a little mean-spirited? I think so. But tune that out. If there's somebody who's like putting some stuff in your head, just see how you can tune that out. You don't need to have that vibing on your frequency level, lowering your frequency. You don't need any of that. Next one we got is the Hierophant here. And again, you're looking for a traditional relationship in some sense, but in some other sense, not so much. Like traditional to whom, right? And so for, you're looking for someone who's going to really partner well with your ideas, your beliefs, your politics, your everything, right? You want someone who's going to like really vibe on all your levels. And part of that is probably because like who has energy to argue with people, right? Like I feel like nobody has this kind of energy, right? Nobody's got energy for that anymore. No, there's too much stuff going on in the world. Okay, now I'm going to pull 3 cards for people who are in a partnership already, right? The last one was for the single peeps. It's interesting. Some of you who are you're in relationship, but we got the Hermit card here, but you still feel alone. You still feel like, I'm, and you might be okay with that though. It just might be that sometimes, you've got your own stuff in your own life over here. But then on the next hand, I see here the 8 of Wands. Be careful that you don't do too many things separate. Right? Be careful that you don't do some stuff together. Because in here we have the 8 of Pentacles. And let's see what they're telling us here. The partnerships are meant to be bonding so that there's stuff done together. So there has to be some sort of real true companionship and connection. So if you've been spending a lot of time apart, not doing stuff together, think about the ways in which you can connect more together, do things together. Okay? So that leaves us with the last thing, which they say is travel and movement. Maybe we will be traveling. Now, some people I know don't like traveling. I don't understand you, but some people don't like. I love traveling. And it's not always possible or feasible or in the budget, but I love it. I love seeing other places. So when I heard they wanted to talk about travel and movement, I was like, oh my gosh, please let me be going to Italy again. Please. Because it's my favorite place to be. Oh no. Okay, first, these are not, I'm going to tell you, we're going to pull tarot, but these are these crow cards. The first one we got is trickery. And then the second one we got is wrath. Let me connect with our guides to see what they're trying to tell us here. Are we not traveling anywhere? Be careful. Okay, first, I heard him, here I may have them telling us be careful. Be careful of what? Okay, if you're thinking about travel, be cautious about like where you're going to, like structural issues. some people are not going to have a super fantastic time on the travel, and they're going to be like, really got to take this vacation. I feel like I need this vacation. But then like the vacation is not relaxing because there's a lot of delays and like headaches and stuff like that. So be cautious about that, because that's not going to uplift you in any way. And I think that may be the case if people are doing traveling. I'm going to say anytime from like now to like even up until like November, or like even next November, I hear in my head. That could change. It's hard for me to future forecast because it's dependent on so many different things. But there's just a lot of like headaches is what I hear, and a lot of like delays, misinformation, like, and so some places to travel use discernment and caution. So they give us an alert on that. And then I also hear budget. Be cautious with budget, because I think like some things will cost more than you think, right? And so that they're telling you be cautious with that too. Now I thought they were going to tell me I'm going to Italy. It doesn't sound like that. Let us pull 3 tarot cards to see what else they tell us about travel movement. Or maybe you're going some other place that's super fantastic. I don't know. Tell me. If you're going someplace amazing and wonderful, tell me. I've been privileged and lucky enough to go to a lot of different countries, actually. Not for a few years now, though. But I feel like the longest flight I've been on is to India, and I loved it with my mom, and we had a great trip. And not enough time to see everything, of course, but it was beautiful. And other long flights, I've been to Egypt. That was a long flight, also amazing. Argentina, where my family is, and that's a long flight, beautiful there too. Italy, where my mom is from, that is my favorite place. I am prejudiced and biased towards it, but we do have the best food. We do. We're known for it, right? So are we going to be traveling in movement? They're giving us the strength card. I'm going to take that as a yes, if we plan, because I do think traveling can be tricky now and can cause, because again, I think there's a lot of delays and other things. So it could be causing us headaches. But we've got the King of Swords here, right? So telling us what? There's guidance available to help us, and we can tap into that. We have to take leadership of it. Okay, we have to take leadership of things if we're planning. And yes, we can plant the seeds. We can put in a fund. Even if we're not going somewhere now, we can start up a little travel fund or do some vision boards on where we want to go. Now, some of you may have like a vision board of where you want to travel to. That's huge, like me, because I want to go everywhere. But focus on one thing. Focus on like one place and how you can get yourself there. But you may need to save a little bit more, is what they're cautioning, and delays could be possible. So like if you know, like you're running like anxious, or you're running like afraid, or you're already like up to here with stuff and with people, like I'm not good at peopling. I'm not always good at peopling. I don't like crowds. And so being in an airport for like hours, or like other stuff I've seen on the news, that would be less of a decent vacation for me. Perhaps for you too. So think about that, okay? And I am going to, this went super long, I'm going to leave you with this, and I'll send you a shorter midweek update sometime in the middle of the week. If you are new here, do consider subscribing and sharing. And if you're reading something fantastic, always let me know in the comments. I am a prolific reader and always looking for good stuff. I will share with you, I just finished A Flicker in the Dark. I forget the author's name. It's a popular author. If you're interested, I will find out for you. And I listened to that on audiobook. It was really good. I thought it was good. It was a good mystery. Okay. And I'm now reading Vera Wong's Unsolicited Guide on Murders. I might have by Jessie Sutanto, and I might have the title mixed up. But it's the first book. I already listened to the second book. And it's just a cute book. and it's an interesting murder mystery. Okay? I hope you're reading something fantastic. Be well, all.